Hello gems, my name is Bushnell. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I hope you stay long enough to subscribe. I talk about femininity, personal development, and mindset. If you're already part of the tribe, darling, welcome back. Let's talk about dealing with toxic relationships and setting healthy boundaries. So you have to know the categories of people who you have to set boundaries with and who you are acceptable to be in a toxic relationship with, and that's your family, your friends, your work or school colleagues and classmates, or a romantic relationship. So going to start with the toxic relationship bit. How do you know if you're in a toxic relationship? Well, one can be your self-view is negative. You think of yourself poorly, you're just a victim, you don't think you can make it. So you're lacking in self-love, self-compassion, self-worthiness. You do not think of yourself as somebody worthy. You're probably even depressed. Also, you're not growing or developing, and this can be mentally, physically, financially, or even spiritually with your relationship with God. You are stagnant. Nothing new is happening. Your business or whatever that could be. You've also attached meaning to the individual. So this looks like if your partner or the person next, your boss or your friend or family member doesn't like color blue, even though blue looks good on you, you don't wear blue because that person says they don't like blue. What this person says is of such a high opinion, and you disregard your thoughts or ideas. I was watching this new rom-com called Irish Wish, and this lady loved this man so much that she was writing books for this man, and the man was taking credit. He was just writing that the book was edited by her, but indeed the book was written by her. And finally it ends with the lady realizing, I am more than this. I'm not gonna spoil it for you. Go and watch Irish Wish, it's on Netflix. Then also you are afraid of people finding out what happened. So you're afraid of telling people, oh, in my family, mommy and daddy fight like this, or my sister, my brother does this or the other. Or you're afraid of telling people in your romantic relationship your boyfriend beats you up. You're afraid of telling people, at work, my boss has made it in such a way that we have to come wearing mini skirts, and it makes you feel uncomfortable. So you're afraid of telling people some things. There are also certain behaviors that show you're in a toxic relationship. For example, the double bind, where somebody gives you two options that are lose-lose for you. So for example, something like, can I give you a kiss on your neck or on your tongue? And they make it look like you only have to choose from those two, instead of giving you an option for, can I give you a kiss or should I not? But they give you an option for, you're either going to have with work of the two, which will work for me, and you're not comfortable with that. And then there's the silent treatment, where if somebody doesn't want to talk to you about something, or you've comforted them about something, they give you they don't stop talking to you, they stop being around you, and yet you try to correct them. They don't want to be corrected, so it's like a punishment of some sort. And then there's the antagonizing, where they're pushing your buttons to make you react in a certain manner that's awful, and then they can hold you to the guilt or shame of that reaction. So how do you heal from a toxic relationship before we go to setting healthy boundaries? Is a good thing is finding a therapist. I cannot recommend this enough. Also, find tools to manage withdrawal symptoms, and these tools can even be just the support system around you. So once you've left a certain relationship, or you're trying to get out of a certain relationship, there are days you'll feel like crying and wanting to go back to that relationship, and you'd want to reach out to this person, you'd want to find yourself trying to go back to this toxic relationship. This person has been your mom, but your mom has been treating you like really, really mean. So your support system or even tools of managing these withdrawal symptoms are available and are there, even if you go online and Google, or even share with your therapist or counselor. And also learn about these toxic people. Learn how a narcissist will approach you. Learn how somebody who is jealous of you or envious of you will talk to you. Learn how X, Y, and Z happens so that you can be able to spot it and push off from such a person. You can avoid such a person. Okay, out to the second half of the video, let's talk about setting healthy boundaries. So how do you set healthy boundaries? The first thing, you have to communicate. Communicate that these are my boundaries and we will not be passing this. This is how it happens. And it doesn't have to sound like the way your high school teacher was giving you rules. It can be, for example, when a man invites you for a date, you don't have to tell him, I'll have to be home by this time because of this and this is my boundaries. Nope, scratch that. When a man invites you for a date, you can just say, how amazing, make sure I'm home by 8. And you can set a reminder on your phone at around 7:30. Oh, that's my reminder, I have to go. He will have learned just by you doing that you have boundaries of being back home by 8, and you intend to keep them. The reason why people cross boundaries is because you set those boundaries and then you allow them to break it and you don't make a fuss about it. So for example, if your mom constantly compares you to your other siblings, you tell your mom, okay, mom, don't compare me. But then the next time she compares you, you don't stop or bring it to her attention. Because sometimes your mom has been so used to this, she won't recognize it. But because you continuously let her, even though you told her, she'll continue and she'll see, okay, this person is not serious about the boundaries. So also when it comes to communication, limit your conversations, especially if these are relationships that you're kind of like stuck with. For example, your workspace. Okay, of course you can leave that workspace, quit and go get something else, but sometimes you find yourself, there's only one person who's trying to be a pain in the bum, and everything else otherwise is so good at that job. So limit the conversations you have with this person. Or even it can be in school, right? It can be that one teacher, just that one teacher who's just a pain in the bum, but everybody else is such a vibe. Your schoolmates, the administrators, the other lecturers. And then we also have the bit of walking away and keeping a distance. So there's some people you just have to cut off. There's some people, friends, who they're so jealous. They're like, they've now become monitoring spirits. They just want to monitor what you do and sabotage what you do. And this can also be your family members, your workmates, your schoolmates, or even, something romantic. For example, if you're more successful than the man, it will cause him to be insecure, and that support system will go. So you have to keep a distance, not tell them everything, and just say, we were good friends at this point, at this age when you were 10 and 11, but right now that we've grown and have different ideas, different life beliefs, I don't think we need to be friends. And it's not a must to even give them the whole speech. Just like, what? And unfollow is a good start. And then having standards. You need to have standards. You need to be able to know, okay, these are my standards. These are the kind of friends I want. These are the kinds of people I need around me. And people have to be able to see this. Because if you don't have standards, it will be very hard to set boundaries. People can already tell by how you dress, how you approach people, how you talk, the kind of standards you have. And that already sets a tone for the boundaries you have. For example, when you're talking and your tone of voice is at a certain level, and somebody shouts at you and you retain that tone of voice that is calm, that person will feel so embarrassed. They'll know, when I'm around this lady, I don't shout. I'm the one who will feel awkward. And then focus on what you can control. This goes to the bit of, you can't change a person's behavior. Leave that to the Holy Spirit, okay? You can't change that man, honey. And one thing is, so your parents have lived longer than you. It's, they're probably 40? Well, you're in your 20s, I'm guessing, just a rough estimate. And your mom or your dad has had this belief for 40, 50 years, or how old they are. And suddenly you want to come here as a Gen Z, as a millennial, and you want to change your parents' narrative. Yeah, you can't focus on what you can control, and what you can control is how you react to their behaviors and responses and moods and all that. How will you control that? That's the only thing you can focus on. And then finally, emotionally detach. So here the whole idea is just don't take things personally. Okay, so understand that their opinions are just their opinions. So this lecturer doesn't really like you. Okay, cool. You don't like me because maybe I like to do my hair fro. Cool. That's their opinion. Okay? They are not. We all have different opinions. And there's this thing called the gray rock method where, when somebody tells you something, you just go blunt about it, like a gray rock. Okay, cool. You don't put any weight to what they have said. So I hope this helps you break the cycle and heal from toxicity. Till next time, bye.